Hello to my Aquarius. Aquarius, this is a bonus video for you all. Why? Because you all requested it. That is why. Making sure the rose-colored glasses are coming off and they stay off so you see things clearly. Also, I was praying over your reading, yours and every other Zodiac Signs reading, before turning the camera on. So let's get into it so I can share with you all what Source has revealed to me to help you all on your journey. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Don't forget to go back and watch the other video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Go back and watch the other video, really, with the rose-colored glasses. Go back and watch them because, again, some people may be like, oh, you're thinking it's all fun and games until something serious happens. And then you like, oh, my God, I didn't see this. I didn't see that. I thought I was such a smart sign. But you could be emotionally drained where other people are contaminating your energy. You could be carrying their energy on your internal scales for a long time and not see something. And you can be, y'all know where the term rose-colored glasses came from. It's just that you're so super optimistic about everything that you don't want to see the darkness in people around you. And they sitting there rolling their eyes at you and sucking their teeth and doing the absolute most. But not only are they doing it to you, they're doing it to your kids. So that is why you don't need to be so super optimistic. I just want to see the good in everybody. Yeah, you can see the good in everybody. Source is in everybody. Of course, the Creator is. But some people, remember, we're free will. They will yield to evil every single time. Every single time. Every opportunity you give them, they will go straight to evil. Because they haven't resolved something within their spirit. And sometimes you don't see it until it comes out on your kids. So somebody needs to wake up. All right, let's get into it. Let's pull a number. Let's set an intention first. So every decision I make, I consider my inner child. That's right. Every decision I make, I consider my inner child. This is very important, Aquarius, because obviously everything on planet Earth is connected. Everything on planet Earth. It's not just a small world where people know people, but everything. We're connected to the trees, the grass. Literally, we're connected to everything on planet Earth, right? The middle, you all air signs, right? So air signs, the middle auric layer is connected to your heart chakra, and it serves as the gateway to the upper chakras and divine energies. And some of the energies that you all have dealt with, Aquarius, have a God complex. They have a God complex. And for you, they see you as direct opposition. All this love and light and sitting in lotus position and, hands together and receiving directly from the universe. All of this, they hate that. And it'll come out on your kids. If you do not pay attention, it'll come out on your kids. It'll come out on your kids and anybody that you love, your spouse, your kids, where everybody's sitting around celebrating this and that, and you're sitting there going, oh, just love and light, and I'm above this and no. So saying, there's some energies who have been holding on to some stuff about your parents. This is what's coming to me. I'm going to help y'all with something. They hate your parents, and therefore they've been taking it out on you. They're taking it out on you, Aquarius. Y'all need to wake up. You can be all love and light all day long. And remember, you want to keep that high vibration because it's going to be the high vibration in you that's going to get you the downloads. So continue being love and light. But again, if Source is telling you, pay attention to this loved one's facial expression when you come around and how they treat you and how they always in opposition and what you hearing, what they've been saying about you behind your back, and y'all better listen the first time, not the second, third. Keep going around, keep trying to be overly nice to people. Remove yourself from the equation. Take their karmic energy off of it. Remember, if you go back and watch the video and I talked about auric layers, these are energies. I'm telling you, this is how you can carry people's aura, their energy on you. Like I said, first auric layer is the etheric body. The first three are closest to the body. That's the etheric, the emotional, and mental subtle body. They represent the lower chakras and the physical realm, right? So the first one would be like having someone 1 to 3 inches off of your physical body. These could be loved ones that you hugged, stood in their face and talked to them that could hate your parents. I'm not talking about dislike. You know how much energy it takes to hate somebody? I'm talking about literally black heart, ice cold hate your parents. Wake up, Aquarius. Wake up, because they don't have a. It won't even take them a split second to do something against you or your kids, your whole bloodline, because they hate your parents that much. Okay, I don't want to start the reading out like this, but y'all need to see something. Y'all need to see something. The second layer is the emotional body. That's like 2 to 3 inches off of your body, right? But let me start with the first one first. The first one, like I said, that's 1 to 3 inches off of your body, right? That's your tribe. That tells a lot about your health, your tribe, the people you're around, your health, right? Right, and your tribe, right? Then we have the emotional body. That's 2 to 3 inches off of your physical body. That's the sacral chakra. That's deals with your emotions, including unprocessed. And this is it right here. Unprocessed feelings from the past. This layer shifts as your mood shifts, right? So you could have seen something with your natural eyes, loved ones rolling their eyes, directly opposing you, seeing that you could see that they have an issue with your parents, Aquarius, but all they have to do is cry in front of you. Remember, you all are no respecter of person. They cry in front of you. They say, oh, the whole world is coming down. You right there. Because, again, like I said, you're moving from your heart. Your head and heart could have been at war with each other. But, again, if you're fixated on, hey, this is family. I'm there for them. I love them. I'm there for them, right? I'm going to go visit them in the hospital. If they need something, they need you to cook a meal for them. They need you to, take them to doctor's appointments. You're right there. But the part that somebody was missing is that some of your family members still have unprocessed emotions as far as your parents are concerned. So even if your parents miss it, you can't miss it. This is part of somebody's calling. 144 connect, right? 144 connect. You're trying to make a connection. Here we have. This speaks to the auric layer, the 7th auric layer, right? Which is your and it's gonna come to you real fast. The casual layer typically extends as far out as 3 feet. And it's related to the crown chakra. This vibration vibrates quickly than all others. It imparts a deep knowing and sense of unity with everything, right? This loved one doesn't want unity in the family at all. This one in particular does not want unity in the family. And if you start to remember some things about you, this is how much they hate your parents and taking it out on you. And if you have kids and their kids are around them in any capacity, how much they'll take it out on your kids. This is why it's important. Now you're starting to make some connections. Every decision you make, you consider your inner child, because this energy may have a lot of connections. They may have a lot of connections, but their connections are based on them wearing the crown in everybody's universe. Remember, we're talking about crown chakra, meaning that everything is connected. Every human has a crown on their head. Everybody's like, okay, you should be wishing everybody the best. You should be wanting the best for everybody. But if you go back and remember and start making the connections, right? This could be somebody's aunt. This could be somebody's uncle. Whatever it is you do, you could be a singer, a dancer, a doctor, an attorney, an accountant, whatever it is, they go opposition head to head. Oh, they got a niece, and they got somebody else that can do something better than you. And these are family members. These are family members who hate your parents. Let's get into your reading. They know how to use people as pawns in the game, including their own kids. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. And you know they be cross watching videos. So hi. You know they cross watching videos. So hello. So yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. This is why you want to be a prayer warrior for your kids and for your parents. I don't care what kind of relationship you got with your parents or what kind of relationship your kids can be talking back and being disrespectful, but you want to be a prayer warrior for them because you got a loved one in your family and this has been smoked out. A loved one in your family. I'm not saying that they smoke. Y'all know what I'm saying. They're smoking out the devil, like smoking out them operating in the flesh, right? And I say smoked out specifically because of the second and third auric layer, the second and third auric layers. The third auric layer is 3 to 8 inches off of your body, your physical body. It's related to the solar plexus chakra, and it's the mental, right? Process the mental ideas, judgments, all of those things. So it will reveal any self doubts and limiting beliefs. So you put that fire and that water together, and it's going to create smoke, right? Smoke and mirrors. So they've been giving you the impression. If you go back to your childhood and you start remembering some things what people have been saying about them, oh yeah, they always, if it's some trouble that got started, that one, that aunt, that uncle, they in the midst of something. They always starting some mess, and people just dismiss it and laugh it off. But something they did, they took something too far. They took something too far. If they're up in age, they're gonna act like they don't know what they did. But they've been like this for a long time. Here's the Queen of Cups. You need to pour into yourself and start showing yourself some compassion. This is right here. This is what's being revealed to you, Aquarius, is that you've been making all these other loved ones, your sun, moon, and stars, pouring into them, crying out to them. This is a loved one that you cried to when you were younger. You cried to this loved one when you were younger, and they've been manipulating your emotions ever since, making you believe they were so compassionate. They've been masking compassion. They don't even have compassion for their own kids. They don't even have compassion for their own kids. Something around sex. Something around sex is because we're talking about water, right? Water, creativity. Something around sex, as far as they're concerned, they don't even have compassion for their own kids. You need to make the connection. They have mastered something in terms of creativity. They have mastered something in how to make money because they're money hungry and they're money driven. You have a loved one who has sacrificed their own kids. Remember, water is reflective, right? Water is reflective. They want to give off this image that they have multiple streams of income. They got money coming from here, money coming from there. They got all this going on. But it's an outer appearance. It's an outer appearance. Meaning that they'll use anybody for money. Their kids. They've already sacrificed their own kids. This is somebody that you may have poured out to between the ages of 8 years old and, let me see, what's sacral chakra age? 8 years old to 14 years old. You may have cried to them about something. You may have cried out. But for them, if it's around money, everything for them is transactional. This is a loved one. They mirror they try to pretend like they're so compassionate towards people, but they feel like somebody wasn't compassionate towards them. Somebody used them for something. You need to make the connection. Yeah. There's a Leo involved in something. There's two Leos involved in something. One Leo comes off as meek and mild. The other one comes off as like they're about to pounce on something, right? In the karmic cycle, this relative is in a karmic relationship for money. That's all they care about is money. They've been using their significant other forever as far as money is concerned. But there's two Leos that's at the center of something. You see this right here? Every decision I make, I consider my inner child. They don't care about. This is a family member. This is a family member. And a karmic relationship for them is all about money. It's all about money and partying. Making things seem like it's fun, right? That's their spirit. It's their way or the highway, right? It's their way or the highway. And this is what they poured out to these two Leos, right? These are two Leos. That's in a karmic cycle. One comes across as meek and mild. The other one comes across as, but they're both in survival mode. Both of them have been in survival mode since they were younger. They're motivated by the same thing. It's like, and they mask it with religion. These are your family members. They mask it with religion. You need to make the connection. You need to make the connection. There's a Cancer involved in something. But there's also somebody's mother, right? One mother comes across as a light mother energy. One comes across as the dark mother energy, right? But there's also a Cancer. Cancer could be a man involved. But the main thing is that Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, but it's also the money sign, right? The money sign of the zodiac. So they know how to attract money. So let me help somebody else understand. When we talk about pentacles, we talk about the physical existence. See how this money is surrounding this energy? They gotta surround themselves with people who are aesthetically pleasing to the eye, that can attract money. So this would be an energy who, it has to be something about you that stands out, Aquarius, that they can use for money. Remember, 8 is also a karmic number. So 8 it represents renewal, sexuality, death. So if they can't use you for money, you up out of here as far as they're concerned. They can't use you. Transformation, shared finances, inheritance, loans, occult, mystery, intimacy. This is a family member, I gotta say it again, who has been posing as being compassionate towards you, and they've imparted that same spirit. They poured that into other family members as far as you're concerned. By the way, you have nothing to worry about, just so we're crystal clear, because you've already made the connections. Still talking about taking the rose-colored glasses off. And you've gotten the heck away from these energies with the quickness. You've gotten as far away from them as fast as you possibly could. These two karmics that's been poured into about the image of marriage. Stay in a married relationship. You know, you can get money. This is how you can get money, by staying in. Pretend like you're so compassionate. These are your family members. So if you don't stay in a relationship, what do they do to you? Because they see you as opposition. You can't keep somebody, Aquarius. Because for them, everything is transactional. This is part of their legacy. This is your family, part of their legacy. You broke some kind of a generational cycle chain or curse by getting the heck away from these energies. I don't know what got you away from these energies. I don't know what the situation was. I'm looking at this right here. But this is quick progression of something. Something progressed real fast. Because they are about quick money. But remember, you are money. You're worth. You know your worth and you know your value. But something in terms of you had a feeling about something as far as they're concerned. You're like, oh no, you got to get as far away from it, because you know your worth and you know your value. You know your worth and you know your value. So you got the heck away from some energies. Right? Because they've been telling people, lying to people that you got away with something. Right? You didn't get away with anything. You got away from them and their lies. So you may, to see how this person has their index finger in their mouth, this person is unclear. Like, okay, I don't know why I had to get as far away from them energies that fast, but okay, what is it, source? That's all you need to do is ask source. What is it? I had a feeling. When you got a feeling about something and you don't know what the feeling is, that's when you go into prayer. That's when you go into prayer for physical evidence of something. Physical evidence of something. Right? So you know that they're watching every little thing that you do, because they're sitting there wondering what you know. Why did you move on? What in the world did Aquarius see that made them bolt out of something so fast? What did Aquarius see? These are your family members. Somebody has a family member who has sacrificed. You got two family members that sacrificed these two Leos right here. They sacrificed these two Leos. One comes across as meek as a lamb. The other one comes across like they're in, survival mode. But you got to, this the connection you need to make. You need to see it from a high frequency. Because every time it's about, you wearing a crown or you being recognized for something, they always got some kind of opposition for it. Somebody compliments you, you look nice, they got somebody who looks better. Whatever your gifts and talents are, they always got somebody on their side that they feel like they can sing better, they look better, they are better writer, they are better this, they are better that. And this is supposed to be family. Take off the rose-colored glasses. They've been doing this for years to your parents. And in case your parents don't see it, you see it. And something runs real deep for them when it comes to money and lack of self-worth. Here's the Seven of Pentacles here. If they feel like you getting more money than them in any capacity, they don't need to know how you're getting money. They don't need to know how you're getting money. Somebody is flying. Somebody could be taking pilot courses or classes or whatever the case may be. They go swing right into action to try to stomp it out, ruin it. Anything that's going to slow down your money. If you've been traveling by plane or whatever, or fast train or whatever, been traveling or whatever the case may be, they go right into trying to ruin it in some way, creating some kind of distraction or confusion. If your marriage is genuinely, if you're in a happy relationship with somebody, they go right into trying to ruin it because they haven't resolved something within themselves as far as. And these are some of you all's. If these are your, let me see. If these are your parents' siblings, that would make their kids your cousins, right? That would make your cousins, right? Don't matter what side of the family they're on, but they would make your cousins, right? That is why when you're making a decision about who to be around, you want to not only consider your own inner child, but if you have kids, like I said, a lot of people are just now waking up to things. No need for you to beat yourselves up, Aquarius. When you find out is when you find out. This is where you start learning how to pour into yourselves, because these energies haven't gotten away with what they thought they got away with. They have not gotten away with what they thought they got away with. What information source, what other information do you want me to know? Share from my Aquarius. Because I see your money growing, because I'm seeing here you studying something. And I see you growing your money. So somebody could be going to school or something that you're doing to go to school for something. But y'all so optimistic when it comes to family members. You got to balance it out. You have to balance it out. Yeah, Source has your back. Source has your back. Somebody in your family thinks that a loved one has their back. When it comes to something as far as money is concerned, I'm going to keep something off of social media because it's about high time some people need to be surprised. For real. It's about high time some people need to be shocked and surprised because they've been lying for too long. They have been lying for way too long, Aquarius. Talking about you depressed. Your back is against the wall. No, it's not. It ain't your back against the wall. Your back ain't again. Your back is good. You're not walking around with a big back. You good. You real good. 7 and 4 is 11. You need to get off the fence of your emotions and become enlightened about these loved ones who, whether no matter how meek and mild they seem to you, no matter how aggressive they oppose things, hate is hate. You got relatives that hate your parents, and they deposited that hate into their own kids as far as you're concerned, and they make sure their kids hate your kids. So if your kids are around them and you're at a crossroad trying to figure some stuff out, get your kids as far away from them as quickly as possible. You need to sit down and have a conversation with them because the seed has already been planted. That is why something moved your spirit away from them. You got away from the confusion. Yeah, away from the confusion, because you're not at full. Something about your spirit. This your sign rules 11th house. 11th house is all about friendships, community, goals, hopes, wishes, awareness, humanitarianism, technology, the future. Something about your spirit was already in the future. Something about your decision to move forward and something was already in the future. So you had already discussed what your plans were going forward into the future. You plan on, so the Seven of Cups here, your water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. You already told somebody that you were moving. That's right here. You were moving your physical body to a different geographical location. You could have been moving from one neighborhood to the next around the corner. That's a different geographical location. You could have told these energies that, hey, you were moving to a different job. Whether it was you told both of these energies who have been lying to you, right? Masking all of this compassion. But one of them told you that they hate kids. They told you out of their mouth that they hate kids. Look. So what do you think they've been doing while you've been apart from somebody? Right? You looking out the window, this big window, right? Big window, right? You've been apart from somebody. What do you think these energies who hate kids have been doing? Everything for them is transactional. How do you think they're growing their money? You need to be in prayer. If you got kids, or your parents don't know what's going on, or they just zoned out somewhere. Maybe they zombified out. Maybe they drank the Kool-Aid or whatever the poison that these energies are doing. You need to be in prayer for them. It's not about whether you mad at somebody, you don't like somebody, you got a difference in opinion. They don't like the fact that you watch tarot, read cards, whatever. You need to be in prayer warrior mode, because your parents have family members who hate them, who hate you, who hate their whole bloodline, for real. Yeah. So you're praying for some people's strength. You're praying for some people's strength. There's two Leos right here, right? There's two Leos right here that one has come across as light, one has come across as dark. They could be light and dark in complexion. Who knows? These are family. Who knows? Everybody got every shade of color in their family. That's everybody. But I'm talking about one has come across as this light energy, like a real meek and mild. The other one has come across as almost like this aggressive, dark kind of energy. But both of them are Leos. That's what this Leos are here. They got off the fence and they did something. Yep, they got off the fence and did something. For 7 and 4 is 11. That's an initiation. They got off the fence and they took some kind of action. They got off the fence and did some kind of action for money, to grow their money. They did something. They used somebody who felt like they was depressed. They created some kind of bogus, crazy believe a lie in their brains about something, knowing good and well something was a lie. Took something off because something feels too natural for these energies. Lying about people behind their backs because it was done to them. So they baited somebody into something. You and somebody, while somebody were apart. These two. They baited you and somebody into something while you and somebody was apart. Talking about somebody traveling here and traveling there and doing X, Y, and Z. Aquarius, y'all need to wake up, for real. Y'all need to wake up. If this is the channel that you need to wake up, there's other readers out there telling y'all the same old thing. Trying to get you to a higher frequency so you can start talking about something other than being set up by your own family members who hate your parents, who hate you, and who hate your kids or grandkids. They need to be cut off. They need to be cut off. You don't need to be at a crossroad. Cross over. Close out the cycle. Learn how to see something from a higher frequency. Resolve all of this family over everything in your spirit. Resolve it today. Resolve it. They sacrifice somebody. Just as demonic as they come. These are your family members. Demonic. Somebody's child. Just to grow their abundance and prosperity. They baited you and some of you and your child into something. Because somebody lied and said you got away with something. You or somebody else got away with something. And so they just decided, oh, okay. Let's get off the fence. That's what 4. That's the 7 and 4 is 11. 11 is a master number. So when you see the number 11, that's for you to pause. It would be said on the clock, on your receipt, when you buy gas or groceries or whatever form. 2 and 9 is 11, 3 and 8 is 11, 4 and 7 is 11, 5 and 6 is 11, all the way back down. 9 and 2 is 11. Whenever you see the number 11, sources say, I'm trying to enlighten you about something, Aquarius. Take a pause, take a breath, go walk around. Source, what are you trying to show me that I'm not seeing? But see, some people overcomplicate and they go, okay, well, I don't know, which question should I be asking? It's whatever comes to you. It could have been something you asked a long time ago. Source is trying to get you a download. All you need to know is, okay, everything off. I'm quiet. Quietly, I'm listening. I'm tapped in. I'm listening. I ain't listening to no music, no nothing. I see the number 11. I don't care what's going on. So it's trying to get a message to me. I need to close my mouth. I need to get to a quiet place, and I need to be in receiving mode of something. They felt like their parents did something to them that was transactional, and they have no qualms about doing stuff to other people transactional, including your kids. These are your family members who hate your parents. That's where your breakthrough is going to come in. You're going to start going back through your memory. You're going to start going back through your memory. They have been telling so many lies to you, trying to give you a nervous breakdown. They doing the same thing. This is what's two sides of the sword here. To you and somebody else. Trying to keep y'all apart. And somebody is overwhelmed. Completely overwhelmed. And this is your psychic abilities kicked in. Because they were sacrificed. So you, Aquarius, need to get a blowtorch fire up under your behind. You need to get a blowtorch fire up under your behind and your back. You need to get into prayer warrior mode and ask God for complete and total clarity and how should you proceed. Some of your family members are stock raving crazy, and that is the absolute truth. And I'm not saying that's all of them, but these are certain energies who have an issue with your parents. They've had an issue with your parents the entire time your parents, whether they separated, together, whatever. These are their family members who have an issue with them, therefore they have an issue with you. Everything for them as far as adjusting crowns. If you go back and listen to some of the conversations some of y'all had with some of your own cousins, they're not about adjusting crowns. They're about knocking your crown off of your head. Again, as far as you're concerned, you're like, hey, you're no respected person. Hey, go ahead and have your shine. No harm, no foul. But where some people went wrong is when they sacrificed your kids. That's where they took the wrong turn. While you were in hermit mode. That's where the light came on for you. Like I said, I'm not going to put everything on here. I'm quite sure other readers will put stuff on here. So I intentionally leave certain things off because I know how very, very in-depth downloads come to me. And I'm not intentionally, I am intentionally leaving some things off because I know how these energies stalk social media to look for their next play, their next move. They're not going to get it from this channel. They need to have a lightning bolt moment. Page of Pentacles. So here we have the Page of Pentacles. That's a message a message for you, a message coming to you that you're about to get some good news about something. You're about to get some good news about something. You're about to get some good news about something. Yeah. Here's the Eight of Swords here. Eight of Swords here. These energies try so hard to shut you and somebody up about something. Nah, ain't no shutting up. Ain't no shutting up. You know how to send spell work back. You got money coming across your path. And it's not even all about just money. You got money coming across your path because these are your raggedy family members. Some of y'all family members are straight up just low vibrational. And you need to call a spade a spade. Some of them are just low vibrational as they come. Masking. They can't even protect their own kids. Pretending to be compassionate towards you. And if you got siblings, pretending to be compassionate towards your siblings. Everything about them is transactional. Everything about them is, we got to put on this outer image. Down to whoever they had procreated with or had kids with. They probably stole that person, probably trapped that person into having kids with them. Because they wanted their kids to look a certain way. Why? For money. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. Sick and heartbreaking. So it don't matter what their age is. They can sit there and act like they don't remember this and they don't remember that. But look at the damage that they've done. All because they didn't want somebody else to thrive. Just a hater. They don't want other people to thrive. They feel like the only way they can get into a relationship with people is to trap people into a relationship. This is somebody's loved one who's been doing this for years. Trapping people into a relationship. The person that they with, they don't even love the person that they with. That thing went out the window. That heart went out the window a long time ago. As far as they're concerned, it's all about money. That is it, and that is all. Because the average person, when a relationship closes out, they just move on with their lives and they go make their own money. This one right here, this loved one right here, they use anybody they can. And if they cannot use them for money, it's time to toss them to the side. And I'm talking about by way of death. By way of death. And humiliation practices. In the way of humiliation practices. They feel like this is a family member that feels like either your mom or your dad humiliated them in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and they've been holding on to it for years. They're going to humiliate you, your siblings, your grandkids. If you have grandkids, if you have great grandkids, they're going to go in and humiliate everybody that's connected to the energies that humiliated them. You need to pull out the sword, Aquarius. Stop being confused. You can be love and light away from them. Be love and light away from them. Stop being confused. This is somebody's aunt or uncle or something. You need to get away from them. They have already done something. They got off the fence and they've already done something. And now they say, well, you got my back now, right? You got your side of the story straight. It don't matter what side of the story they got. You got physical evidence or something. It don't matter what side of the story, nothing. A bunch of liars. Here we have the page of, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they've been sacrificing people for years. I'm going to tell y'all, whoever you dated, this right here, somebody has love coming across their path. Whoever you dated, every time you brought your love interest around this group of energies, these are family members. I got to keep saying that for some of y'all who are, why should I keep saying family member? Because these are people that you have an emotional connection to. You've been around them since you were a kid. This is root chakra, right? Every time you brought somebody around, this is how much they hate your parents. Okay, I can't even say dislike for real because that's the energy that's coming to me. This is how much they hate your parents. And I don't know what's wrong with your parents not see. Some of y'all parents are like, well, you got to love everybody. You can love some people from afar. Everything on planet Earth is already connected. This is cycle you breaking. You breaking a generational cycle chain and curse. Every single person that you've ever brought around these energies, they show, listen, they show fake compassion towards them. Let's say you broke up with somebody, right? Let's say you broke up with an ex, right? It could be any ex. It don't matter how far back it goes. They will do more to pour into that ex than they have ever done to pour into you to help an ex grow their money. And they slick and sneaky with it behind your back because they have some secret vendetta against your parents. If that is not sick, I don't know what is. They don't even know your ex, don't know your ex, don't know their family, but will help your exes. These are your y'all. You better wake up. This is my family members. They sacrifice you and sacrifice, yeah. Been humiliating you and your siblings for the longest time away from your parents. But anytime they get a chance to use somebody, to use them pouring lies into people to get other people, this like a poison that just keeps going on and on and on through the bloodline. That's why Source says you need to stay as far away from these energies as possible. Yeah, this judgment is coming down on them. The same kind of judgment they try to bring down on you is coming down on them. What's in the judgment card is, judgment card connects us with Pluto, which is the outermost planet. The outermost planet is connects us with death and rebirth. They wanted to force you all into a rebirth. They want to force your kids into a rebirth. And so we're crystal clear what a rebirth is. Even if you weren't something, they were going to make you something. They were going to make you something. Y'all can take that however you want to take it. Everything for them is transactional. Everything. They don't care who it is. They don't even have compassion for their own kids. If they're not getting paid to do it, hey, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. They don't want to have nothing to do with it. If it's not money attached to something, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. Because it's their way or the highway, because that's how somebody treated them. That's why some of y'all looking on social media right now, certain things make you sick to your stomach, because your spirit is going back through your mind, reminding you of some stuff that's coming to your mind right now. That's why some of y'all can't watch certain things, because that's not the frequency that you're on. Some of these people are just make you want to throw up in your mouth. Sick, super sick. Use your hands. Yeah, you were created by the Creator. You were created by the Creator. But put your hands together. And that's what you're praying to, is Source. Judgment is coming down on these energies. Say something so bad in this reading, but I'm gonna leave it out the reading, y'all. I know y'all be like, say it. Nope, it's the World Wide Web. I'm gonna leave it off the social media, because it's coming out. It's coming out exactly as you are, right? So the one who is always dissatisfied with the present moment will never have a better future. Give yourself permission to feel content here, right now. I'm telling you, you all are created in the image of Source. I'm telling you all. These karmic family members try to create you to be something that you were not. They did. so that the world would hate you. They try to create something else, try to make you seem like you're a liar about something, Aquarius. But no, that's where you're the one, the true compassion, and that's what's coming out. That's what's really, really coming out, because you were in hermit mode. You were in hermit mode when they were trying to bring judgment down on you, all this behind your back and doing this and that and so on and so forth behind your back. You were in hermit mode, thriving. They telling everybody you somewhere having a nervous breakdown. That's why you're not talking to people, and they so heartbroken and they love you so much. When these energies, this one, I'm telling y'all got a relative in particular who has an issue with either your mom or your dad or both of them. When I say that hatred is deep, it's deep as this heartbreak in this card right here. It's deep, deep, y'all. And you can hear it in the way that they talk. Just the hurt. Every time you turn around, they carry. It's like they're carrying a basket of hurt on their back. It's like their skin is falling off. You know how like people carry around a lot of weight, like through the emotional eating and stuff like that. Something about them carrying a lot of emotion in their weight, right? Now, of course, we don't do any kind of shaming or none of that on my channel. It's all love. But I'm telling you, they've been carrying this weight around for them for a long, long, long time. But that weight has been poured into so many people in the family. It has destroyed so many relationships in your family, Aquarius. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. They are pure evil. It's not even a word. It's not even a word for real, except evil. That's it. That's all. It's evil. Embodiment. Now is the time to make your mark in the world. You decide what feels right to you. Embody your leadership, power, and create a world out of your deepest desires. This energy lied and said, if you are a mother or a father who is a very nurturing kind of father, it could be a man or woman, doesn't really matter, but very nurturing, they lied and said that you weren't. Just do it the absolute most. All of this while you all are in hermit mode. All of this while you were in hermit mode. Had people on social media. I'm talking about mental health professionals putting stuff up on social media. That's how connected these energies are. They were working extra, going above and beyond, putting the work in, the money, planting seeds everywhere they go. Literally like planting seeds wherever they go. You want a new lease on life? Plant a seed, plant a seed, plant a seed. These are your family members. Aligning themselves with whomever they can align themselves with while you're in hermit mode. You need to cut them off, Aquarius. Whatever you wish. Whatever you wish. When you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, life will swing back into balance. Stop the struggle and feel peace. The world responds to you. I'm telling you. You will be at much peace without these energies. Somebody has been crying to a loved one since you were a kid. And that energy has been masking compassion. When you know now as an adult, they show their own kids no compassion. Everything for them was about money. Everything, multiple streams of income, down to the person, if they're in a relationship with somebody right now, down to that relationship. That's all they care about is money. That's it. They don't care who they have to mess over. You, if it's an ex, they would befriend all of your exes. If it meant they getting some money, they've been running around contaminating and poisoning people from the very beginning. Where's that card? This right here. If you grew up when you were, this right here, if you traveled a lot or if your parents traveled a lot, let's say, for instance, maybe you may have mom or dad that like travel for work or what kind of work they do, whatever, somebody was in the military or they had a job or their job like telework or worked overseas or whatever the case may be, they do that when people are apart from each other. They're very calculated by baiting people into stuff. Just like they did you. Just like they did you. But they can't hide it because all you have to do is start talking about your spiritual practices, that you watch tarot, that you watch whatever. They're going to be a little slicker with it now because they're watching tarot. But Oh, that's demonic, that's evil. But they've been practicing dark magic from the beginning of from the very, very beginning. Because that's how crafty the devil is. They just didn't call it that. Humility. That's right. Yeah. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help, and in every way I delight in receiving it. That's right. Yeah. That's that owl. That's that knowledge. You have knowledge. This is your spiritual knowledge that you have. This is spiritual knowledge. This is ninth house right here. Your spiritual knowledge, higher education, philosophy, law, religious, travel, ethics, moral, personal beliefs, spiritual beliefs. They cannot hide. They can gaslight whoever they want to gaslight, Aquarius. But you, yeah. Mm-mm. That's why they do all this cover up with marriage. All this cover up with marriage. Cover up what they did with marriage. They did something to your parents when your parents were away from each other. They did something with your parents when your parents were away from each other. And your parents, somebody fell for the bait. But somebody has physical evidence. That's why these energies were so hell-bent, Aquarius, on sacrificing you. So if y'all been feeling like somebody like, why in the world, what is it about you moving away from somewhere? People are so hell-bent on sacrificing you. That's what it is. A lot of y'all didn't even realize what y'all had. Like, a lot of y'all didn't even realize the knowledge that you all had. This energy right here been faking compassion since day one. Since day one. And pour that same toxicity out and say, oh, here's how you can make some money. Here's how you can make some money. Spread lies. Be loyal to your friends. Yeah. Something happened with someone's dog. Don't just take it what resonates with you. If nothing happened with your dog, because obviously every energy has a lifespan. Every energy has a lifespan. So if it didn't happen to your dog, don't create something. Oh my God, I knew something happened. Don't create something that's not there, right? Don't create something that's not there. But my point to you with all of this water is learning how to balance out your emotions, like really learning how to balance out, because you're pouring out to certain loved ones, and it's just like it's repeating itself. It keep repeating itself as you pour out to certain types of spirits, that for them something is their way or the highway, and while you're in hermit mode trying to get your downloads directly from source, they're judging you. They're judging you. Your physical, your appearance, your mental state, whether you're telling the truth or lying about something, based on what you're saying, going back through their memory, whether you need to be restricted or not, and you looking back and you just like, wow, you've been in a broken mirror about the energy of love for a long time. Remember, these restraints are not tight. They're very loose, right? With all of these people in your ear about certain things. These are loved ones. Heartbroken, right? And you ain't see stuff until you started thriving behind closed doors when they've been telling all these lies. All right, and that's all. I said again, like I said, but they sacrificed these two right here, these two. You, these two, and whoever else. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been helpful. And if they have been working with an organization, the organization needs to detach themselves from this family. Your family members. Because your family members, they something. But it started with this one right here. It started with this one. who everything about them is about appearance. Yeah, because everything is about appearance. If whether it's a man or woman, that means they would sleep with somebody just for appearance sake. I want good looking kids. I mean, just craziness. Like all kids, people, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I just want good looking kids, and then turn around and sacrifice your own kids. Craziness, pure D freaking craziness. Where the heck is CPS? It's time to take action. Again, prayer warrior. Prayer warrior. I'm telling y'all, this particular family member who has a vendetta against your parents is going to pretend like they don't remember stuff. They're going to act like they lost their mind. They don't remember this and that. Blah, 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 blah. All of that. They cause you much pain and hurt, heartbreak, disappointment. All of a sudden, they got selective memory. When they sacrifice their own kids. Let them be under a spell. Let all these other people be under a spell as far as they're concerned. You're not under their spell. At least not anymore. Grief. You're not under their spell, Aquarius. Not anymore. You're not under their spell, Aquarius. I'm telling you. This is just like I said, it may have taken a while. It takes. This is why I always tell people, Aquarius, we're gonna close out your reading here. This is why I always tell people to stop harshly judging other human beings when they finally wake up. You don't know what environment people are in. You don't know how much of a trance people have been under for years, for real. But I'm telling y'all, is your parents have been telling you about a particular family member, and it's them. This is not even you pointing the blame game. You were a kid. How in the world would you know? And if you grew up around and you're looking at like somebody, and they, like I said, this energy masking like they're compassionate. You crying to them, you know, about heartbreaks, or you trying to make, connection with, loved ones. Like I said, you're hearing family of everything, and they steadily just lying to you, lying to your kids, got their kids lying to your kids, Aquarius, all because you thriving. You got a loved one that, I'm telling y'all, anything they can do to cause you to grieve. If that means hurting your animals, hurting your mom, hurting your dad, messing up your marriage, they are just a complete destructive, evil entity energy, Aquarius. Anything to cause you grief. Y'all keep running into the same type of a spirit in a different body. So when you hear people say new levels, new devils, it's the same demon in a different physical body. It could be in a physical body of a man or a woman, but the spirit of is their way or the highway. You have met the same type of spirit from your childhood, in your adulthood, in your marriage or marriages, on your job. You've met the same kind of spirit every time you go places until you learn that you are a prayer warrior and you go ask God for clarity. I'm serious. You don't need to exhaust yourself anymore. You don't need to keep exhausting yourself trying to figure stuff out, being confused. I don't know why. What reason would they be, lying on? Why would they lie? It's the same type of spirit that your parents have been telling you about this particular loved one that you went running to save you from something, and they threw you right to the wolves. So wake up, Aquarius. Wake up, wake up, wake up. So you can continue getting some good news. So somebody has love coming across their path. You have love coming across your path. Somebody could be buying a dog. You have, Source has your back in all of this. Source has your back in all of this. Like I said, you all are in hermit mode. They put a lot of familiar spirits around you. They spent a lot of money putting cameras and familiar spirits around you just to make sure you would be heartbroken. Just so you can be heartbroken. So you can get some bad news and be heartbroken. So that you can grieve because of their icy heart. Just to humble you. That is what I have for you all, Aquarius. That is what I have for you all. That is what I have for you all. So when Source is saying every decision you make, you consider your inner child. Also consider your kids. Consider your parents. Consider, people that Source put on your heart. Go right into praying for them, because you keep meeting the same type of evil entity, and it's been exhausting you. It has been confusing you because it's in different forms. It's in different forms. They take one look at you and get a first impression. They would never suspect. Aquarius will never suspect. You're talking about God. You're talking about you love God. You're high vibrational. You're all about love and light. You this and that. And yeah, you are all about love and light. So these energies go right into, we can fly under the radar with Aquarius. They'll keep forgiving. Remember, we're talking about heart chakra, right? They'll keep forgiving. But now when you slow down, you're going to remember those smirks on those faces. Remember, heart chakra is about love, trust, healing, gratitude, compassion, connection, and forgiveness. These energies have been flying under the radar, Aquarius, because they knew you were going to forgive them. They knew that you were going to, connection, equanimity, balance out, head and heart over, at war with each other. You're going to go back to being friends with somebody. They're going to call you. You're going to pick up the phone and answer. You need to hit the block button, because they think you're not making the connection. Yes, you have. You made the connection, what they were into. They got off the fence and they took some kind of action to hurt you, to break your heart. Because they walking around with ice covering them. Yeah. That is what I have for you. They sacrificed you and they sacrificed your child. It's time for you to take action. It's time for you to take action. And your action is through prayer. And you're going to send that energy right back. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Bye.